Well, hey, mamas. Jessica Coulter here, CEO and founder of Ace Cookie Tutoring. We're live on Facebook, we're live on YouTube, and we are starting a new series this week all about preparing your teens for school, all about teaching them the study skills they need this summer. So, mamas, is there a skill that your teen needs to be successful at school that you want to know? Is there a skill that you're hoping your teen learns this summer? If there's something that comes to mind, be sure to drop it down below for me so I can make sure to cover it later this week. And make sure you hit that like button, and drop a star if you would to let me know this message is going to be relevant to you. We're focusing on how-to manuals today and all the study skills your teen can learn from those. Before I really get going, I want to make sure you know I have a Facebook group, and my Facebook group gets all of the details, all of the nitty-gritties for upcoming events, just like my Fall into High School and Beyond event, which is going to be in July. So be sure to join us after this video if you're not already a member. Now, how-to manuals. That's what I mentioned we're going to talk about. Well, I got to tell you, there's 9 study skills I teach. And, something as simple as building a new piece of furniture, using that new electronic, something like outdoorsy, like putting a tent together. Those all come with manuals and instructions and, how to do this and step-by-step instructions. And, when your teen does that, when you do it with your teen, or you have your teen do it by himself, he's going to learn a lot of the study skills he needs to be successful at school. So you're going to be happy because he's learning, and your teen's going to be happy because he's not in a classroom. He's not doing schoolwork. He's not using a textbook. Because I can tell you a lot of teens I work with as a tutor, they don't always like using their textbooks. They just immediately kind of close down or think they're scary or think it's going to be boring. And so if your teen's doing something this fun this summer, that's fun to him or her, then it won't feel like schoolwork. So you might be going, all right, Jessica, sounds good, this idea of learning, this idea of no boredom, this idea of fun, but what exactly are those study skills you're talking about? Well, like I said, there are 9 of them when it comes to manuals. These skills I want to touch base on tonight are first, annotating. That's probably the most important one, the easiest one to do with a manual. And for me, I'm thinking of those manuals that are, pre-printed, they come in the packaging, but they can also be things that you do print off online, since a lot of things are now more and more online, or it could be even just the ones that you're looking at on your tablet, your phone, your teen's looking at, totally fine. You can annotate either way. And as your teen's looking, the things that your teen needs to do while reading those directions is to write off questions in the margins. So is there something your teen's like, what am I really doing here? Like, what does this mean? So we know, okay, we got to go back and look at that some more. Maybe we're circling something, something that there's big, bold words, or there's a big old diagram, like a warning. Those are things your teen are going to, make sure he doesn't miss. Because if there's something about, if you want it to be this height with the table legs, then you got to have this particular piece in. Or if you want it to be used for 4 people instead of 2 people this tent, then you need this extra piece, or, attach this thing to this thing. So any special directions, definitely we've got to annotate. Anything your teen's confused about, let's annotate that. Okay, so that's just one study skill. So I want to share with you a couple more that come to kind of fruition and get practice during how-to manuals. Before I do, just want to stop for a minute and thank you all for being here. I want to thank you for taking time to learn how your teens can practice study skills. And I want to make sure if you're a subscriber and a follower of the Ace Cookie Tutoring business page on Facebook or YouTube, and hit the notification button, hit the follow button, you will always get notified when I'm live, so we can make sure your teens are ready for any learning situation and, actually help your teens like school. So what else? What other study skills should I mention here? Well, time management and organization are 2 study skills that will be very, very easy to practice when it comes to how-to manuals. Your teen thinks that this piece of furniture, say, is going to take 20 minutes to put together, because that's what the directions on the front say, no tools required, or, tools included, like if we're talking those little Allen wrenches or something like that. But your teen's like, all right, 20 minutes, that's what I need. There's 10 pages. Well, your teens might go, okay, it's going to be X amount of minutes per page, or it could be, well, there's this many steps, so it's this many minutes per step. So that is time management. If your teen decides, oh no, first page took me 10 of my 20 minutes, I'm going really, really slow, it's going to take way more than 20 minutes to get this table put together. Okay? Or, maybe it's a matter of I have to get done by this point because the sun's going down and we want to have a tent to sleep in tonight. So 2 very different ways to include time management, and it all comes down to looking at manuals and how-to instructions. Okay? So I also mentioned organization. When we think about manuals, we think about directions. Your teen, like if we're talking about baking, if you don't do things in the right order, whatever you're making, whatever your teen's making, probably not going to taste the best. I'm thinking for myself, I love to bake, especially cookies. And just today I was talking to someone about creaming butter and sugar. And, if you don't ever do that, not going to be the best cookies. But I can also tell you it's a much bigger deal from personal experience that if your teen was to put in the baking soda or the baking powder in way too early and beat it up, essentially stir way too long, way too much. Again, didn't follow directions of when to add it in, and essentially it gets to the point where it's overactivated. I'm not sure if that's the exact right baking word or right science word, but essentially that's what happens. It just won't have as good results because basically had it in there too long, did too many stirs, too many actions. So just know organization. So what to do when, and recipes are manuals. They are how-to directions. So I could definitely make this video longer, definitely go through all 9 of the skills. But the point I want to drive home, mamas that are watching, your teen can learn study skills, can practice those study skills this summer, be ready for school in a way that doesn't feel like school this summer, that doesn't feel like punishment, that doesn't feel like work. And if that's something you want your teen to do, definitely be sure to try out some of the things we talked about in this video. Be sure to come back for the next videos later this week. And most importantly, be sure to join my group so you can sign up for my event, Fall into High School and Beyond, when doors open next week. So thanks so much for watching. Have an awesome night, and I will see you for the next video of this series. Bye.